A tragic day in the city of Pittsburgh, a mass shooting apparently driven by hate at a synagogue in Squirrel Hill. At this hour, 11 people are confirmed dead, 6 more injured, including 4 Pittsburgh police officers. Condemnation is pouring in from the White House and even from around the world.
Our team of reporters are spread out across the area to bring you the very latest, and we have every angle covered for you on this very sad day where the horror of a mass shooting hit close to home. We begin with live team coverage. Andy Sheehan is live in Squirrel Hill. David Highfield is at County Emergency Operations Center in Point Breeze, and Ralph Ionati is at the suspect's home in Baldwin. And we begin with Andy tonight. Andy.
Well, Susan, a tragically historic day in Squirrel Hill, a mass shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue. A gunman we've identified as 48-year-old Robert Bowers of Baldwin came into the Tree of Life Synagogue shouting, "All Jews must die." He was armed with an AR-15 and 3 handguns. Bowers proceeded to shoot and kill 11 people, wounding 2 others. Shooting indiscriminately in the synagogue where 3 congregations had gathered for Saturday morning Shabbat services. He did his work, and then when exiting the synagogue today, he was confronted by a Pittsburgh police officer whom he shot, apparently shooting him in the hand. Bowers then retreated back into the synagogue, and he hid and barricaded himself in a third-story office. That's when we arrived on the scene. There were SWAT officers from Allegheny County, Pittsburgh Police, a whole contingent of Western Pennsylvania law enforcement who surrounded the building. They entered the building. They went and found the suspect. They exchanged gunfire. 3 police officers were shot in the exchange, and they shot and wounded the suspect several times. Bowers was taken to a hospital. Those officers were also taken to a hospital, and Safety Director Wendell Hisrich picks up the story.
Initial confrontation between the subject and the officers occurred, injuring 2 of the officers. 2 additional officers were injured during the altercation. Those were SWAT officers. Multiple agencies responded to this incident this morning, and without their courage, this tragedy would have been far worse.
2 of the officers that were hit, as the director said, were the first responders to the scene and were engaged. And they're both in stable condition. And as the director said, 2 from our SWAT team during an engagement inside the building were struck as well. They are in stable condition.
And we've been reporting all day that the heroics of those officers saved more people in the synagogue, that their lives were spared by the quick action and the heroics of these officers. We are here in Squirrel Hill. We're at the verge of a vigil, a celebration that's being called of the lives of the people that lost their life today. And you can see in this very tight-knit community, people now are walking from all over this neighborhood towards the site of this vigil, where they will honor the memory and of the victims here. We are here. The FBI is now taking charge of this investigation. We have seen a forensic unit from the FBI. This is being investigated as a hate crime and an example of domestic terrorism. Reporting in Squirrel Hill, Andy Sheehan, KDKA-TV News.